take a couple of wears. Like another example, her brother does the power armor. So if you've seen the T01 power armor, that's him. And he's done like so many different like alterations to it because the first time he wore it, he forgot about his joints. He forgot that his legs move, but that's okay because we all do. So it might take a little bit. So it might take some tries to get like to figure out how your body's moving, and you might have to make a couple of them. So just be aware of that too.
And the thing too, you mentioned it's the power armor from Fallout. Think about cooling. If you're going to be in a costume that has a lot of layers or isn't breathable, how can you introduce cooling? Do you need to wear the athletic cooling girdles or the arms? He bought a box fan and put it on where the wheel for the power armor entry is. And he has a power pack that takes air in from one area and runs it through his whole system. And you can hear the fan. It's like the whole
But
time.
you could probably hear the power armor like if it had the
Yeah,
for it.
he stays cool, and he's about 7'2" in that power armor, and it weighs about 45, 50 pounds.
But he's dedicated to that. So remember, like perfection takes time and it takes trial and error.
And then for the baby Groot, I included baby Groot there for a big reason. That's the baby Groot's headpiece. It's just floral foam. And then she took the moss that are meant for like little mini kits for like little homes and stuff and just got the moss.
That's Thero's mama.
That's my mom.
That's her mama.
And then she took a ball of that, glued the little floral foam on the top of it, and put a pair of sunglasses underneath that she just painted the eyes on. So it doesn't have to be super complex to kind of make it look a little bit more advanced. And the great thing is because it's on a molotov, you can just take it off, have a breather, and then put it all back on. So there are ways. And then finally, I didn't have ears for a 1920s version of Caduceus Clay. I can't remember why we did this, but it was fun. So I just used some felt, painted it with acrylic paint, and then used crochet to glue it to my skin because felt is skin safe. People wear it. So you can use fabric and you can sculpt it to create special effects makeup if you feel like manipulating it on your body. It works. Oh yeah, we've been mentioning a lot about this. I couldn't figure out how to stabilize this. I went to Dollar Tree and they had a round serving tray, and I'm like, that's the perfect size.
Again, like the function, the shape, and what it does.
So I took the serving tray, I wrapped it in 2mm craft foam, and I put a magnet on it, and this hat just sits completely at like it's about like 45, 50-degree angle on my head. Does not move, but the structure is complete. Because when I made it out of foam, even with me treating it and adding structure, it kind of sagged a little bit of itself.
Yeah.
So adding that just random plastic on the tray stabilized the whole thing. Again, it does not have to take.
I think it's like our advanced cosplay tips are like, oh my gosh.
I also save the planet
And save money. Because I know that I waste so much money like not planning out my cosplays right. And I still do.
So yeah, that's a big thing too. And a lot of the painting too, just to kind of, we haven't talked a whole lot about painting. Most of what I use is just really inexpensive acrylic paint.
Like the 50-cent bottles that you can find little.
And I mean, sometimes I'll use airbrush paint, but honestly, I like being able to dry brush just putting on paint without any water on your brush. It creates this nice streaking. Then if I take a wet paper or hot towel afterwards and wipe it across, it looks like natural shading on it.
Well, and you can also get different kinds of media, like mixtures. Media, why did I say media? Oh, mediums. Yeah, so you can get like a fabric medium, you can get like glass medium, and you mix that with your paint so that it is more compatible with whatever you're painting on.
So now we have a movie and we've got about 10 minutes left. And we've got questions. If you have material you're interested in, we already have a question. Okay.
So on that last picture, you said you used a magnet on the wig. How did you keep the magnet in the wig?
Yes. So we'll talk about two different ways. I'll talk about my wig, and then I'll have her talk about her wig. So for my wig, what I did is I actually just sewed a washer underneath the wig, and then I put two magnets in the hat. And then I would just slide the hat along until I fit on the washer. That So where did the dust come? Was my hand dusty?
did.
Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, there's
Yeah, and actually, so I did Bahamut with thermo, and I had a huge giant. I forgot that I had like 2 feet of horns on me. I was always hitting people, but I have a helmet as well that was made out of Sintra. And what I do is I make pockets on my wigs. Now, this is obviously like I also use wigs, so just know that this is going to be a wig that's specifically for this cosplay. So you take small pieces of fabric. It doesn't matter if it's small fabric that you don't need to like finish edges on, and just sew a little pocket on the space and then put your magnet in there, because sometimes washers aren't enough. Like yours is light enough, but mine needed both magnets. And then you seal it up and that magnet's never gonna go away. But it is going to look weird when you take your headpiece off. And I usually make sure, independent, it'll change depending on what you've got. Sometimes one magnet is enough, but for my helmet for Bahamut, and I know we don't have pictures for it,
Find a picture.
I have like a magnet in the front, the back, and the sides. And that thing did not, I mean, I hit people with it, but it did not leave my head. They're called neodymium or rare earth magnets. Just be careful because they are really strong. Sometimes you have to separate them, otherwise if they get stuck, even sliding them off sometimes won't work, but these are the ones that we use for cosplay. I use them religiously.
Your Instagram is not going to be on here soon.
Oh, my
Just scrolling, trying to see if I can find
My-
stuff.
If you do end up using those, is there any kind of restrictions on using those if you're gonna take them through, say, like TSA or something?
I have so many magnets go through CSA.
So I used to be a flight attendant, and you can take a lot of things on the planes. Just lithium batteries are like the thing that they're majorly strict about.
That's the power.
Oh, that's me.
Thing that has the box fan in there.
And I'm 5'2", so
I know that your comments in here, we will find it eventually, but if there's other questions that you have about cosplay, and there's one of
yes, back in back.
How do you get felt to stay stiff? Because I made a costume and I used wire and hot glue and just normal glue and trying to make it stay.
So a couple things you could use is like fabric spray. There's one that you can use to stiffen fabric. Another thing maybe is like watered down just PLA glue, like Elmer's glue or Mod Podge. And then if you soak it in that and it dries in the shape that you're going to want it to, that's a couple different ways to do it. Or you can just like make a base and then cover it in felt. That would be something a little more advanced, maybe like Warbler or Sintra, and then you can cover it in the
I
felt.
found your picture right. So that's
It's
the
like
helmet. She uses the pocket and then she just sets and then rotates until it snaps.
And that
You
thing
can hear it
has
snap.
never fallen off my head. It has never fallen off.
I mean, she smacked me in the face. They really are about 2 feet out.
Yeah.
So,
At least like I hit thermo in the face.
it's okay. I'm on something else that I have. So I was going to show the video of me doing the makeup so you guys can see.
Did you guys have any other questions? Yeah.
Have either of you done any cosplays that you like specifically intended to like get wet, like for shoots or something like that? Do you have any recommendations about like how to protect your material on your cosplay if you're gonna get wet?
I mean, of course, you're gonna just look at the same materials that they make any other kind of like wet suits out of, or lycra, cottons. You definitely don't want to do any vinyls. Definitely not leathers. If it is leather, then definitely like go for the pleather. And test it. Always test it. Take the piece, test it, put it in different situations, put it in water, out in the sun to see what happens. Dye, make sure that it doesn't, you can pre-wash it, or test it, put it up against other fabrics. But you're going to be safest with like lycra and spandex, and then just 100% cottons are always going to be safe bet.
And then this is, I mentioned the layering. This is a bit of rigid collodion and the silicone compound, modeling compound built up over an hour and a half.
So the rigid collodion, did you explain what it does?
So rigid collodion, I don't know that I explained what it does. Rigid collodion, it dehydrates your skin. So first your skin has to be completely clean and moisturized. And then when you put it on, the first layer is not going to seem like it does much. It's just going to look like you put some kind of weird nail polish on your face. And unfortunately, it does smell like nail polish. It cannot go near your mouth, your nose, or your eyes, but it can go pretty much all around it. So you just don't want it anywhere where there's like a water potential exposure to water. Mostly because you don't want to absorb it. But it goes on your skin, the first layer, like weird looking nail polish. The second and third layer, all of a sudden when you turn around, it looks like someone cut you, but then there's no blood and you're like, what happened to my face? It sucks your skin in. And it makes it look like you've got a deep set scar. So a lot of people, when they're seeing scarring, they're using scar wax, which is just building up and getting big. Collodion sucks in your skin and creates that really weird deep depression that you would like for something that has a larger injury. So I'll play it again. That is right there. That is what it does to your face. Like sucks everything in.
Characters that have like the one eye or whatever, or scars, that's a great way to do it. And you don't really need to like add anything else to it unless you want more depth.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and, listening to us ramble. I do. But anyway, you can find me. I am the Jinx Cosplay on socials, and I do have a website, jinxcosplay.com. You can go to the CTL booth. I've got some prints there. You can take a print, and we also are from Cos Talk Live again, and we stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So check us out at some point. And also my lovely co-host here. She's like, this is Thermo AC.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to, I got a message from the leaders. Okay.
Yeah, we are running.
So I am Thermo AC, and I am mostly, you're going to find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm also on the Instructables community. So I've written years of tutorials, and if you have questions, I'm happy to provide the answers if I can. If not, we get to research together.
Yeah, just send us a message. I'm always happy. People ask me all the time. Someone asked me about my Jasmine, and I'm happy to share information because that's what we do here. We learn from each other. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to UmuCon. And are we going to see you next year? Well, thank you, guys.
And then don't forget to come back into this room at 4:30 p.m. for our closing ceremonies.
Closing ceremonies. Thank you.
Otherwise, you can just chill in here. It's going to be empty and sad.
No, you stay. I'm just kidding. Bye, guys.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's really happy. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Oh, yeah.